According to the United States Army Corps of Engineers, the Columbia River Basin is the fourth largest basin, and it extends throughout the Pacific Northwest and Canada. In this basin, there are more than 250 reservoirs and 18 main stem dams on the Columbia River and its main tributary, the Snake River. Of these 18 main stem dams, 8 dams affect the migration of anadromous salmon and steelhead species. Within this basin, I will focus on the 4 dams on the Snake River. The farthest upstream is Lower Granite Dam, followed by Little Goose Dam, Lower Monumental Dam, and finally Ice Harbor Dam. I chose this area as I have an interest in preserving salmon habitat, increasing the salmon and steelhead populations, and I love to fish for salmon. Lower Granite Dam was completed in 1978. This dam is approximately 3,200 feet long. It has 8 floodgates, a navigation lock, a fish ladder, and it can produce 810 megawatt total of electricity. The purpose of this dam is to provide hydroelectric generation, navigation, recreation, and incidental irrigation. It is located at mile 107.5 of the Snake River. The next dam that is downstream is Little Goose Dam. Little Goose Dam was completed in 1978. This dam is approximately 2,655 feet long. It also has 8 spillways, a navigation lock, a power plant, and a fish ladder. The purpose of this dam is to provide hydroelectric generation, navigation, recreation, and also incidental irrigation. It is located at mile 70.3 of the Snake River. The next dam is Lower Monumental Dam. This dam was initially constructed in 1969 and it was upgraded in 1981. This dam is 3,791 feet long and has a powerhouse, a navigation lock, 2 fish ladders, and a juvenile fish facility. The purpose of this dam is to provide hydroelectric generation, navigation, recreation, and also irrigation. It is located at mile 41.6 of the Snake River. And the last dam is Ice Harbor Dam. Ice Harbor Dam was initially constructed in 1962 with an upgrade completed in 1976. This dam is 2,822 feet long and has a powerhouse, navigation lock, 2 fish ladders, a removable spillway weir, and a juvenile fish bypass facility. It provides navigation, hydroelectric generation, recreation, and irrigation. It is located at mile 9.7 of the Snake River and it is closest to the Columbia River. While there are many species of fish in the Snake River, I will focus on the salmon and steelhead trout due to the severe impact that the dams have had on them. The salmon species that have lived in the Snake River include the Chinook, coho, chum, and sockeye salmon. Especially troubling is that the chum salmon is no longer found on the Snake River. Salmon begin their life cycle as eggs in the river system. Once they hatch, the fry transition into parr and stay in the river system for 6 months up to 3 years. The salmon spend between 1 and 5 years, depending on the species, in the ocean. The steelhead trout, they spawn in the tributaries of the Snake River and the young fish feed in these streams. They begin a migration as smolts to the Pacific Ocean in the spring of their 2nd year. The steelhead trout population has continued to decline in the Snake River fisheries. The dams have a major impact on these populations of fish. Freshwater streams and rivers are important habitats for salmon and steelhead trout. These rivers and streams provide an area that enables these species to grow and gain strength to make their migration to the ocean. With the building of dams, the salmon run in the Snake River has fallen to between 3 and 4% of the original wild run. Even with the addition of fish ladders, the salmon have a difficult time in making the migration back to their spawning grounds. In addition, the mortality rate of salmon parr is high as they make their way to the Pacific Ocean. What I have learned about the dams in this area is amazing. The outflow of these dams can be as high as 850,000 cubic feet per second. With this degree of outflow, these dams have changed the characteristics of the Snake River. These dams have created reservoirs that are slower moving than the river that used to be, and it affects the salmon migration and their ability to survive. Dams also tend to raise the temperature of the water, which is not suitable for salmon or steelhead trout. Another factor is the dams change the sediment flow of the river, and this leads to changes in the plume that goes into the ocean, which ultimately affects the juvenile fish. Additionally, the 4 dams that I've discussed are prime candidates for removal. The primary function of these dams is for the production of electricity and not for flood control. By investing in newer, more efficient energy sources, the electricity could be replaced and the dams could be removed. The money that is being spent on failed attempts to restore the salmon and steelhead populations, which is approximately $8 billion over the last 20 years, could be used to remove the dams and implement more efficient energy sources.